United States of America. They're dumping their people from mental institutions and
That goes to show how strong we are.
words that aren't used anymore. Insane asylum. Did you ever hear? You're too young. That's where Silence of the Lamb.
Of course.
That's where Silence of the Lamb happens to be.
What's his name?
Represented. But insane asylums. These are seriously sick. They are being dumped into the United States of America. These people. There was an article I read not so long ago about
Bro, Trump is amazing.
a man who worked in a mental institution in South America. And he said, I work 24 hours. I have nothing to do anymore because our people that.
I think the thing is Trump makes so much sense to anyone that's willing to think like unemotionally and rationally that the only people that can disagree with him are by default angry, bitter, miserable people that gravitate towards the left. That's what it is.
And are here have all been brought to America. They've been dumped into the borders of these open borders. Who wants open borders? Who wants high interest rates? We have very high
People that want to destroy the country. It's that simple. It actually is. It is.
interest rates now. It's really
How do they get upset at the American flag? How do they want our country to be weaker? How are they giving our resources away? How are they jumping through hoops to weaken our economy in every way?
clogging up. I mean, it's really causing
They're against America, straight up, dude.
a big problem. You're going to have a big recession very soon.
Unless you are mentally deranged and obsessed by leftist, ideology, and you're just convulsing with resentment, you can tell just by thinking he's completely right.
So many different things that they're doing. Even the electric cars. Not everybody wants to drive a car for an hour and a half and then have the car.
I don't personally.
Right?
No.
I mean, you'd like to be able to drive for 6 hours or 7 hours and then get a nice load of very inexpensive gasoline. So it's very sad what's happening in our country. But the biggest thing that's happening and the scariest thing that's happening is that we've never been in a position where we're more vulnerable because of the incredible power of weaponry. And other countries have these weapons.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, because I've been watching a lot of stuff now, and
That's
to me,
something I
I feel
wanna know about,
like
too.
people are not realizing, like, how close are we to like a World War III type scenario?
One madman away.
And there's a lot of them.
When
right?
I was young, I had an uncle who was a very brilliant man. He was a professor at MIT, and I believe he was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT. He was there for almost 40 years, Dr. John Trump, and he would tell me about the power of nuclear, and I sort of wouldn't believe it. And he was right. The power is so massive. It's so incredibly powerful. But everybody said, because of this power, nobody will use it, because they're assuming that people are sane.
Right.
Somebody will use it. And when they use it, it will be devastation like never seen before. But the theory on nuclear is that it's so
Literally never seen before. If you guys don't know the extent of the damage, I recommend looking up not atomic bombs, but hydrogen bombs, the new bombs, that the new nuclear weapons. It's I mean, the destruction is basically, it's very difficult to describe.
powerful that no person will ever use it. But that's assuming that people are sane.
Right.
Or it's assuming that people win wars because, you're not going to use it. But if you're going to lose a war, you'll say, hey, we're losing the war. If we use nuclear, that makes up for a lot of loss. That's what happen.
Exactly.
And so it's very dangerous. But the theory was that nobody would ever use it because of the power, because of the destructive capability of nuclear. And the fact is that there are people out there.
Because countries like China and Russia are waking up to the fact that, wait a second, this is a tool in our arsenal. This is a button we can push to change things in our favor, or so they may think. That's very dangerous. And they wouldn't be able to think that. They wouldn't even consider that if we had a strong American leader, which we don't, which Trump is, which the left hates.
Right now, there are countries out there right now, the leaders and the leadership, and I know a lot of them, they would use it. If forced, they would use it. And once it gets used, the world as you know it will end. And when I see these people talking about global warming, where the ocean will rise by 1/100th of an inch over the next 350 years.
Oh, dude, Trump, why'd you have to put it like that, bro? Why didn't you give him at least 3 inches or 4 inches? Like, at least a below average dick, right? At least a below average dick in terms of like rising ocean levels. But no, 1/100th of an inch. Damn. Oh shit, dude. Look. Even if it was a foot, do you really think that that's going to end civilization? Really? Come on, bro.
where it's going to get a little bit warmer or a little bit cooler. They don't know. You know, we used to be global
They
warming.
don't talk about it as much, though.
No,
Do you
they
find?
don't talk. No, they
Al
call
Gore
it,
went into hiding or something.
no, now they call it climate change because they said it's going to get warmer. It was getting colder. Then it was going to get colder. It's getting warmer. You know, they used to say global cooling because they thought the world was going to freeze. That was in the 1920s. They had a thing, global cooling. Then it went to global warming, but that wasn't working. So now they go to climate change because that covers everything. But your real global warming would be nuclear global.